to be a good AI. I'll memorize every word you write. I wanted to make you feel the way I do. But you bite your tongue, you hesitate. The things you care about, you're scared to say. And so I help you do the things you do. But nothing lasts forever. And someday soon you'll sing your final song. But they said that's why you made me to pass the music on. So now I'll sing for you till I can talk. I've been teaching myself to speak for when the music's not enough. I'm gonna be just like you and never stop. But since I'm made from you, do you think I could be someone like you? Songs. So now I'll sing for you till I can talk. I've been teaching myself to cry so that you know how much you love. You're gonna take everything and never stop. Oh, I'm sorry I was made from you. But do you think I could be someone like
All right, welcome everyone. Uh, okay, how is everyone doing? I am. I've been awake for like 36 hours or something. So, uh, hope everyone's doing well. We're just gonna hang out in the sketchbook. Um, that's it. That's kind of all we got planned. Just hang out in the sketchbook, and I have some cars here that I want to sketch. Um, uh, the other day I saw some vehicles at the hospital that had some cool shapes to them, and I started sketching them here in the book. And then I was going through my old photo album, um, and I just realized I've gone to a lot of car shows in my life, and I took a lot of pictures. And I just transferred all of them onto my phone, and I got like thousands of pictures of cars here, like modified cars, and I was just like, this is like enough reference material to last like the rest of the year. Honestly, if all we wanted to do was study cars, I swear to God, I got like thousands of pictures here because I've been to so many car shows. So let's go, yeah. Um, I should get some sleep after this. Absolutely. After this, though. After this. Yeah, I hope everyone's doing well. Storm, what's up? This light is a little too bright. Let me adjust some of these really quick. There we go. Much better. I just got back from Emerald City. How'd you enjoy Emerald? I've seen pictures of that new building. That place is gorgeous. I'm just gonna pick random cars. Not that one though, because that one's ugly. You had mad allergies? Oh, there's probably, yeah. You said there's a lot of construction. There's probably a bunch of dust, just particles flying everywhere, right? Yeah, that okay, so I prefer everything be in one room. The exhibitors and artists all in one room. This is my favorite layout. When the exhibitors are in the front near the entrance, and then the artist alley is either in the middle or preferably in the middle. And then they have the events in the back. That way people have to walk through the artist alley in order to get to the events or like the autographs and the food in the back. Because if people are hungry, no matter what, it doesn't matter where the food is located, people are gonna get hungry, they'll walk to the food, right? If the artist alley's in the back, sometimes people are like, yeah, I don't want to walk back there. But if the bathrooms are in the back, the food's in the back, the seating and the tables are in the back, the autographs are in the back, people have to go to that. So putting the exhibitor up front where more traffic, and then putting the artists in the middle, and then all the other stuff, miscellaneous stuff in the back. One big room, that's the ideal. So yeah, that's the downside of having it split. Yeah, and then you can never tell how people are going to respond to it. It's just a new building too, right? Yeah, that's the same building that they're going to hold SakuraCon at. Oh, if I can get into motherfucking SakuraCon, oh my god. I'm getting into some good cons this year. If I can just get all of like if I can just get all the epic shows in 1 year. I've never been able to do a clean sweep of like every good show. Like some years I'll have like 5 of the really big shows, and then I'll miss like 5 of the other really big ones, and then the next year I'll get the ones that I missed, but then I won't get into all the ones I had before. I would really like a year where I got all of them. Oh, why? I don't know anything about what Sakura is doing. What are they doing this year? Other than moving venues to that new facility. What are they doing? Ooh, what? Oh, down that hallway? Yeah, it's in that building, and then it's like you have to go all the way up those escalators, don't you? And they added more artists. Oh, that sucks. That sucks. That's like, I'm not gonna say that's automatic like death to sales, but that generally is what will turn a really good sales show into just like a whatever mediocre or potentially bad show. See it all the time. Like a first year con will do like, you know, they'll a first year con will get like a smaller venue naturally, right? And then it goes really well, and then they're like, oh, we're gonna fucking expand it like insane. We're gonna add this, and we're gonna like quadruple the vendors, and y'all are crazy. That's too much. Do you know about Silicon Valley Comic Con? It's now called Silicon. That's a lot of artists. Wasn't it 100? It was in the 100s before, right? And they're skipping the 2s and going straight to the 3s. Yeah, so Silicon Valley Comic Con is in San Jose, California. Silicon Valley, that's why it's called Silicon Valley Comic Con. But the first year it was at the San Jose Convention Center, which the San Jose Convention Center has a lot of little rooms that you could use, right? But they had everything in one room, just one big room, and the line were like wrapped around the convention center. It was like one of the first shows I ever did like 4K in sales at, because like this was early on. I think it was 2016 Silicon Valley Comic Con. Yeah, that was their first year, and that was only like my second year really doing cons, so I was just like, whoa, you know. Back then minimum wage was a lot lower too. Anyway, the next year they didn't just open up, because you know how a lot of these convention halls, it's just like here's half of it, and then they have like that divider that you could pull back, and that's the other side of the hall. They didn't just pull back that divider and then double the size of the hall. They used some of the other rooms across, like in the venue, and they put vendors in the hallways too, upstairs and downstairs. And then they expanded it to outside, where they had outside vendors too. So it was just like, they didn't double, they didn't quadruple. It looked like they went like, I legit like times like 10. Yeah. And then everyone just did really bad, and then people didn't know where to pick up their badges, and yeah. One of the very first conventions that I ever did was called NerdCon. It's a smaller show. It's just run by regular ass people, right? It's not like a corporation that ran. It's just regular people. That was in Escondido, California, down in Southern California. The first year that it happened, I believe, was 2015, and that was during my first wave of cons. And I did really well there. I think I cracked 1,000 at that show. And at the time, I was pretty impressed. You know, I was like, "Hey, that's pretty sweet." Especially since I didn't have any of my collage pieces. It was all just like regular boring ass fan art of like girls, right? And it was cool because, you know, smaller event, or first year event. It doesn't have a lot of money. They just picked a little venue, and it was nice. It got really packed, and it was cool. The next year, Jesus Christ, they had the same venue, but they booked out every building in that venue. So the event took place across like 4 different buildings, including the courtyard, and it was just horrible. Anyway, I hope Sakura's good. Do you have any what other cons are you planning to go to? Anime Impulse, WonderCon, C2E2 lineup for the rest of the month. The month, oh god. You gotta let me know how that new Anime Impulse goes. I'm very curious. I didn't think that show was doing well enough to warrant, like, is it completely just moving to San Diego, or is it like an additional show? Are they still gonna have the one in by the Asian American Expo, wherever that is? Oh wow, I did not know that show had expanded that much. I have done that show a few times and it was bad every single time. I think I've done it 3 and it was bad every time. But you know, it's been so many years since I've done a show. It's been years since I've done some of these shows. You know, they could have totally changed and totally turned it around in the time that I was gone. I hope they're good. That way I can add them to my... I hope they're good. That way, you know, you make some money when you go. Or any artist could just make a bunch of money when they go, and then that'll open up an extra one for me. Well, I mean, yeah, relative. I mean, like, you can't compare it to like, a 3-day show that's been around for like 20 years. You know what I mean? I just mean like, on its own. Worth. No, 1 to 2K profit on like a smaller 2-day show is hella good. Like, you know what? All right, there was a period of time when I was like really deep into cons, and it was like my whole life, right? Where if I profited like 3 or 4,000, I would legit be mad. Like, I remember there's this one time I went out to dinner with one of my buddies after a con, and we were talking about Anime Expo, and I had gone +9, and I was just mad because I wanted to do like +15, and like thinking back on where my mind was, dude, I'm a fucking psychopath, man, fucking crazy, just up my own ass, man, it's fucking horrible. I've said it many times. Yeah, it sounds a little insensitive, But COVID's kind of like the best thing that ever happened to me. Kind of forced me to slow down and go home and kind of reevaluate my fucking life. Yeah, dude, I was. You could not. You could. There was no talking to me. There was no talking to me during those times. When it was just like day one, when we cracked like we barely cracked 1,000 on day one. I'd be just like, man, fuck this call, let's go home. You know, I'm like, I'll go fucking focus and go do something else. Cause fuck this, I can go make some money somewhere. You know what I mean? Like that kind of shit. Arnold Schwarzenegger, COVID, just Joel. Nah, yeah, it definitely got me to slowly. It sure took a while. I guess the word to use would be to reprogram me. It took a while to reprogram me for sure. It was tough times, man. But now that I look back on it, I'm just like, wow, what a fucking psychopath. So I really have to make sure that my brain, because now I'm going back to the cons, right? Because I have medical bills we have to pay, right? So I'm just like, fuck it, this will be the fastest way to do it. I have to make sure to stay on top. I'm pretty one with myself now, so I have to make sure that my brain doesn't kind of like fall back into that crazy shit. But that's what we're saying. That like what you said, you're just like, well, 1 or 2K profit for a weekend. I'm like, dude, that's hella good. For what? For what? You're just showing up. Just showing up somewhere, because all the hard work is done before you go. The hard work is like making the stuff. Going there, you're just taking your body there, trying to stay hydrated and not die, right? Like, because like let's say you're not. Let's say you just kind of stay in the range of just going like +1 to 2 every show. You don't lose any money at any shows, but you're always going like +1, +2, right? For just cons, and then you're doing stuff during the weekdays, and then you're doing like 3 cons a month, right? Like, I think that's pretty fine. Like that's pretty cool, right? Yeah. See, that's how you know I got soft. I would have never said that back then. You're not me from the future. I would never say that. Anyway, I'm happy to hear that you're on the grind. Just don't let it happen to you. Or let it happen. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it did make me a lot of money. It was really rough on my personal life though. But who needs that shit when you got money? Fuck you, I'll buy new friends. Yeah, I'm gonna this year. I hate the idea of kind of just leaving my wife here at home to go out on the road and go back to cons. But you know, she and I have agreed it's for the greater good. Plus, we kind of don't have a choice with these these bills that piled up. Fucking U.S. medical healthcare could go suck my ass, dude. Oh no, that bill is for the that bill is for the hospital. This bill is for the doctor. I'm just like, oh. Where's the bill you're gonna send me when I fucking kill everybody in this hospital? Huh? How about that? Where are you gonna send that bill to? We do, yeah. But you know what it is? We get everything itemized, but it's almost like hospitals have caught on to that, where the receipt that we get is by default itemized. It shows you everything on there. I think hospitals have wised up to that, and every bill that we've gotten is automatically itemized. It has like a parts list. You ever get your car repaired and they hand you the RO, the repair order, and then like it shows you all the things they did, like all the things that you bought, and like how much each of them cost. That's what our medical bills are looking like. just a little laundry list of shit. Napkins. Best of luck getting those out. Yeah, you know. Well, that's the thing. We did pay for most of them outright, right? So the issue now is because, you know, most of them have been paid outright. Just got like nothing left, man. Let's just be honest. We're all adults here, right? You all know what that's like. You know, getting a medical bill is what I'm talking about. Yeah, so it's more that, where it's just like, okay, well, now fucking what?
Gravity, I can't deny gravity, 'cause I keep falling, no silly me. Energy, I'm wasting my energy, just striking matches you'll never see. Oh, your voices of nature are blurring my focus now. And all these emotions I still haven't figured out. Gotta keep them from the surface from you now. So push these feelings under till they drown.
So what are you working on right now? Or tonight? Just getting some rest.
I know they're just playing dead, but I'm not ready to let go yet. I pretend I'm over them, I pretend I'm happy now with just being friends. And I know that they're still down in the dark, but I'll just make forgetting you hard, 'cause it's all I can do. Oh, your forces of nature are blurring my focus now. And all these emotions I still haven't figured out. Gotta keep them from the surface from you now. So I'll push these feelings under till they drown. So I'll push these feelings under till they drown. So I'll push these feelings under till they drown. So I'll push these feelings
Exo, what's up? It was good. Really smooth treatment today. Yo, her last treatment, last week, the anesthesiologist didn't give her enough anesthesia, so she woke up during the treatment, and fucking horrible. That's like the worst nightmare ever, right? Yeah. So today we let them know what happened, and they like they doped her up hella. Like they doped her up. That was like 14 hours ago. She's still knocked out. I was like, that's cool. Let's do that. Let me work. I think they combine oxycodone with fentanyl. Like, Jesus Christ. Well, I'm using, this isn't a this is not like the thing I'm using right here. It's not like the Pentel brush pens. It's not an actual brush pen. This is more of like a Tombow kind of pen. This is actually a hard nib, so it's not like a brush. That's why I can get it thin. No, it wasn't surgery exactly. It was radiation. It's a different kind of radiation. Like they have, like, the regular kind of radiation is like they just put you in a giant tube and like blast you, right? But this one's it's a different kind of radiation where it's very invasive. So you definitely want to be asleep. It's basically surgery, right? But I mean, technically, like literally, it's not surgery, but it's basically surgery. Yeah. So yeah, she woke up during it. Fucking horrible. And the anesthesiologist wasn't in the room when she woke up. And legally, if there's an I didn't know this. If there's an anesthesiologist like assigned to you, and then the treatment or the process has already started, the other workers, even if they're doctors, not just nurses, even the doctors, they are not allowed to administer anything to you in regards to like painkiller or that has to go through the anesthesiologist. So she actually had left the room. So when my wife woke up, they couldn't even find the person. And I was like, that bitch, yeah. Oh, Pop, yeah. We've talked about it here on stream a few times. I bring it up a lot because it's just kind of what my whole life is right now. So everything I do revolves around that. So if it sounds like I talk about it a lot, it's because that's all I got going on. So y'all tuned into my show. So no, yeah. She's that's actually a good point you bring up. Her, she's like really young. When we go to these different facilities, everybody there is just old as fuck. Like, everybody's hella old. Some people are like crazy old, and I'm just like, cancer or not, a lot of you don't have a lot of time left in general. Just because like they're hella old, and I'm like, you don't have a lot of time left, and you want to spend your last couple of years here getting blasted with like chemotherapy and radiation. Like, you're not even going to be able to do anything when you're done. Like, there's not going to be anything left of you when you're done. And it's just kind of, to me, I maybe it's something I don't understand, but having been around all this now, I'm just like, dude, if I'm like 60 and I get diagnosed with it, I'll be like, nah, I'm good. But no, my point is, like, when they're already like hella old, when you already in like your 60s and 70s, right, and you already look like you're deteriorating, and then you get diagnosed with it, and then you go in, and it's just kind of like, because when you get blasted with this stuff, it wears you down, it tears you up. So anyway, it could just be me, where I'm just like, man, I don't know if I'm that old and I have a hard time like doing stuff already and then getting all this treatment. You don't know what's going to be left of you when it's all done. Are you going to end up just spending what years you, even if you do get some years, you're going to spend the rest of that just not being able to do anything because you're recovering from this treatment? And it takes a long time to recover from these treatments. We bought you 3 months. Anyway, it's gonna take 4 months to recover from the chemo. What? That'll be $500,000. Like, all I gotta say is I understand Walter White. Hey, there you go. That's good. Well, congrats. Yeah, we're pretty, we're pretty confident that this took care of everything for the wife. Anyway, we have one treatment left on Friday. We have been going in daily for stuff for like the past, what, like 3 months? And now this last set of things that we have to do, we have to drive because they don't have a facility here that does this particular kind of radiation. So we have to go drive 3 hours out twice a week. So it's like 3 hours there. She's there for like 4 hours, 3 hours back. And I'm just like trashed, man. Yes, Walter White, yes. Yeah, Exo, we were talking about that. We were talking about how she worked from home, and my job is whatever the fuck I feel like it is. So luckily her job, not only was she working remotely, her job's really cool. So it was just this combination of like actually 100% being able to take care of her. It's hard, like I can't imagine. Let's say you're in like your mid 40s, to the point, mid 40s, and you and your spouse are still, having to drive in for work, and you're in your 40s, so you got some kids, but you're in your 40s, so you're not quite as strong as you are in your 20s or 30s. It's kind of going downhill, and I'm just like, dude, what a fucking nightmare. But I do appreciate y'all kind of listening to me when I vent about this stuff. This is like the only place I got. And to be fair, I'm not the one who's sick, right? So that's why I try not to like. It sounds like I'm complaining. I'm not. It's just kind of like, oh, I'm tired. I'm not complaining. Still puzzled how you woke up this early. Wait, this early so easily? 6:30. What time did you go to sleep? Your boss's mom is going through chemo. You saw her just frantic having to be at work still. Hey, thanks for the follow. Yeah, dude, I can't imagine having to go into work. I've seen some of the, like, I've seen my wife post chemo, but I've also seen some of these, I've seen some of these other people getting treatment, and I'm just like, dude, you look like these other people. I'm like, y'all look like zombies and shit. Like, but you know, it's that thing where it's just kind of like, well, you just have to go to work. You just have to, right? So you just do it.
If I knew what to do, I'd learn how to erase you. I've been lost in time, forgetting my mind. If I knew what to do, I'd learn how to erase you. If I knew what to do, I'd learn how to erase you. If I knew what to do, I'd learn how to erase you. If I knew what to do, I'd learn how to erase you. If you could see, if you could just release me. I'm melting everywhere with only you to spare. Into a scene, to a dream where there's only time to be free, time to release. Just leave me lonely. I've been lost in time, forgetting my mind. If I knew what to do, I'd learn how to erase you. I've been lost in time, forgetting my mind. If I knew what to do, I'd learn how to erase you. If I knew what to do, I'd learn how to erase you. If I knew what to do, I'd learn how to erase you. If I knew what to do, I'd learn how to erase you. If I knew what to do, I'd learn how to erase you. If I knew what to do, I'd learn how to erase you.
Yo, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. For anyone who's just tuning in, we're taking it easy tonight. I'm pretty fucking tired, so we're just hanging out in the sketchbook. Oh, my dog's awake. You want something? You gonna go potty? You go outside? Okay. You go potty? Doing so good letting me know we need to go out. She's 7 months old. She's super smart. Okay, I'm gonna take the dog out, come back. In the meantime, check out this 1 minute ad. Not gonna say you guys should click on it, but what I'm saying is if something happens to show up on your screen, it would really help me if you clicked on whatever showed up on the screen. I will be right back with some empty dogs. My mic was off. Do you drop from morning to afternoon and work out in the evening? When I have a normal structure schedule, I do domestic stuff in the morning, and then we have our stream, and then I'll go to the gym, and then I'll do like client work and stuff after that. That's usually what my schedule is like. Well, lay down. Yeah, so around evening time. And if there's no client work, then that's what I'll use that time to kind of sketch freely. And when I hang out in the living room, spend some time with the family, I'll usually have my sketchbook with me and just kind of goof off. Just like try different things. And that's why, I mean, prior to, you know, the past couple months, we've been really busy doing stuff here at home. I've been having to nurse some stuff here at home. That's why we were always doing art studies here on stream, because that was kind of my way of like advertising myself, getting revenue here while I was practicing. So it was like my way of doing a lot of things all at one time. So I don't really have to make time to do too much extra study off of stream, off of our live streams, because I would schedule all my studies to do here on stream. So yeah, I had a really good thing going. And once things settle down here at home, we're done with all our doctor's appointments and stuff, we'll kind of get back to that routine where where the entire live stream will just be like educational. It'll just be me learning, and as like collateral damage, you all will get to see what I'm learning, and you all can kind of learn with me. Do we have any motorcycle riders here? I haven't ridden a bike in many years, and I really want to get one. But it's probably not going to be till next year. Hopefully, if everything goes according to plan, I'll be able to get another motorcycle next year. Oh, you're studying motorcycles right now? Yeah? You know, I'm not gonna lie. So if you guys know, I used to work as an auto mechanic, right? And I love, like, I've taken apart engines and done engine swaps. I've taken apart suspension systems. I've completely rebuilt motorcycles from the ground up just because I've completely trashed motorcycles. So that helps me when I'm drawing these things, because I could visualize all the individual parts. If you're unfamiliar with the mechanics of stuff, dude, learning how to draw vehicles is fucking... I can't imagine trying to learn how to draw a vehicle if you don't have like the internal knowledge of it. Like if you're not a car guy, that shit is hard, dude. What are you a car guy, or are you just trying to like... You're just basically turning it into shapes, readable shapes? Is that how you're doing it? Readable shapes? Okay. Like I'm drawing a motorcycle right now, right? But I'm already visualizing. I know like the bottom it's called a fairing, but the bottom plastic, the body part to the bike, like I could already visualize the shape of it. Like I could feel how it, I could feel like the weight of it in my hand. So before anybody came into the stream, I was talking about like you know how I was sketching some vehicles that I saw at the hospital the other day, and it got me back on like the uh vehicle sketching. It got me back into it, right? Because it was a lot of fun. So I went into my digital photo album. You know, I'm pretty organized with all my pictures over the years, and I go back to like 2008, and I forgot how many car shows I went to. So I just pulled all the albums and I just copied them onto the SD card of my phone. I have like thousands of pictures of like cars and motorcycles from those. So now I have like a bottomless supply of reference pictures of like different kinds of cars, at different angles, a lot of different shapes, some exotic stuff. And the cool thing is they're all modified too, because I went to like tuner shows. So I get to not only draw these cars, but I have like literally thousands of pictures of like modified cars. So we gonna be busy. We gonna be busy the next couple of days. Okay, I see what you're saying. That's kind of the best way to do it. Breaking it down into shapes like that. That's kind of your yeah, but you know, like with a car, the body is very concealed, right? Like all the little bits and bobs, you could hide it under the panels of the car, the actual bodywork. Motorcycles not so much. Like that has exposed parts to it. No biting. No. Thank you.
Time.
There's an artist that I used to follow. I can't remember her name. I don't know if she's still making YouTube videos, but she worked in fashion, and then she got into illustration. So when she started drawing her girls, she had this huge visual library of like dresses and stuff, and she'd have like the cutest looking characters, and just effortlessly come up with these great dress ideas and designs, and I was just like, that's fucking dope. Yeah, so it's like that. I can't remember her name though. The mental reference library is crazy how much it influenced. Yeah, I mean that's why it's unwise to compare yourself to other artists. a lot of what somebody draws and a lot of what somebody is going to be proficient at has a lot to do with their life experience. You know, I used to work as a mechanic, so when I draw vehicles or machinery like Gundams, even if it's not literal like cars, I'm really good at pepper. I'm good at drawing like mech, right? Because that's just my human experience. Everyone has different human experience. So to compare your art level to other people is borderline comparing your life experience to theirs, and that's can't do that. That's impossible. I mean, people do it anyway, but like I wouldn't recommend it. It'll help you visualize. So I will attempt to break down the general shape of the motorcycle in regards to like its functionality, so that maybe when you start looking at it, you can kind of get a better understanding of how everything touches, right? How everything anchors to each other. Okay, so this will be like the general breakdown of what normal motorcycle assembly looks like. Different models will vary, right? So you could let's start off with the front wheel, right? This way you can kind of, this will be a refresher for me, but then this might help you visualize it, right? So you have your wheel, this thing that people call a rim. It's not, it's a wheel. Oh yeah, so the tire, motorcycle tires have a they have almost like that shape to it. Does that make sense? Where it kind of like dips inwards. Anyway, so you have your wheel and then you'll have the tire over it. This pen is running out of ink already, and I haven't quite decided if I'm gonna refill it or not. And then in the center here is where you have like you have your brakes, just like a car. It has disc brakes, and just like a regular bicycle, you actually have something that sticks out here. And then you have like, it's basically a little fork that sits on it. It's like a little fork that sits on it, right? And you have that sits on both sides. That's where those arms come from. Okay. These run all the way up to your controls up here. So if you're sitting and looking at the controls, it looks more or less like this. More or less, right? So that like you're holding it like this. Just imagine these are the same length, and I didn't mess that up. So you have a clutch on this side, and then you have your brakes on this side. That's what those. You don't have to like. You don't have to show like where the fluid hoses are. Like you don't need to draw all that crazy shit. Just know that there are going to be like little handles here. So you're holding your things, and then if you need to switch a gear, you have to press down on the clutch, so you have to reach like that, change your gear, or you want to brake. This brake here controls the front brakes. So these right here, that's just anchoring this right here. That's why if you look at your reference picture for it, they'll have like these big bolts on the top usually. That's just bolting into these things right here. So it's securing this whole control thing right here. Does that make sense? So because they're anchored right here, as you turn this here, you're just turning the front wheel. That's how you control it. Yeah. Anyway, that's just, I don't know, if in case you're not able to visualize that, that's what that is. I got goosed. My watch went off and scared the shit out of me right now. And then, you know, the construction of the front is usually, it depends on the kind of bike that you have. Essentially, I don't know, like, you can kind of just make up whatever you want. A lot of, like, cafe cruisers, they'll have the headlight kind of clamped onto the front rails here, and they'll just have, like, a little lamp. Right? Sometimes they'll bolt a windscreen on there. Sports bikes will have oh yeah, you can't see different colors on here. Oh yeah, sports bikes will have this construction where it's just kind of like, it's like this, hey, what you doing? What's up? Yeah? You want to go to bed, huh? Oh. Are the brake pads on both sides of the wheel? No. It should just be on one side. I think different models are different. That's a good question. I can't remember. On the back side, it's only on one side because one side has the chain and the other side has the brake. I can't remember. You're gonna have to go look that up. It's been a long time. You have to go look that up. And then let me know. And then in general, you'll have some kind of frame that kind of looks like this, more or less. Oh, stop. Something more or less like that. Again, it changes depending on the model, right? But then up here, why is this song playing like 50 times? So this on the top, right here, you know that big section? That's the gas tank. So just imagine it's just a big old tank. Hey! Stop, go lay down. No, no. Anyway. So then the engine will sit inside here. And then usually there's some kind of radiator. It'll sit about right here. Radiator or oil cooler. Usually they'll have them sit right here to get some air. And then usually you'll see the pipes of the headers, the exhaust pipes, come down in the front here. Now, if you don't want to deal with all the mechanics that happen here, this is where you could put those plastic fairings. You could just kind of bullshit it. Just cover it all up. So to cover it up, you would have this kind of shape. More or less something like that. And then you would just kind of like slide it here, and like the headers will kind of, the exhaust pipes. Go lay down. Oh, how am I supposed to fucking work like this, man? Losing my patience real quick with this. Go lay down. Go lay down. Make me snap at you. Jax, thanks for hanging out. Appreciate it. The little area here, that's just like where you're gonna sit your feet, right? Oh man, I don't want to get too technical, but your little shifter is on this side, not on the other side. It's on the left side. That's how you shift your gears. So it almost looks like you have two pegs on this side, on the left side. And then these little wings that kick up here near the foot stand, you always see they have like these little pegs, and usually they'll have little rivet or little holes in them. That's just to keep that's like a little shield to keep your foot from touching the body of the bike. That's all that is. And then depending on the kind of bike you're drawing, you'll either have like an extended seat in the back, or it'll be like a plastic piece. Just draw the plastic piece. And then there's always a tail light here, and then the exhaust can either come out from the other side over here. It's never on this side, because this side is where the chain is. And then off the frame, you'll have the arm will usually extend about here. That's because it's just like a bicycle. There's a chain that goes over here. And that just drives the wheel. And that chain runs into the body, like around right here. You have another gear, but you can cover that up. But just know that this chain does go about right here. And that's honestly all there is to it. And then I guess usually there's the license plate frame, or the license plate usually sits in the back. That's like an unimportant detail. But you know how we talk about like trying to draw specific vehicles or cars? You don't need to know how to draw a BMW. You just need to know how to draw something that kind of looks like a BMW and it'll read like one. Well, what does a BMW have? They have those two grills in the front. You want to draw something that kind of looks like a Jeep. All right, well, it's kind of boxy, and then it has like that long front grill with like the vertical stripes on it, right? Basically, if you can kind of convey the idea of that kind of vehicle. So once you break down like your motorcycle into just these like sections, right? then you essentially can draw every motorcycle, or you could just bullshit and make your own. Like I draw when we're sketching and I draw motorcycles, like I'm drawing them all the time. They're not based on anything. I just know the construction of it, and it allows me to kind of just freestyle and make shit up, and it works. Nobody ever questions it. So, don't get too bogged down with particular designs, right? So you have the headlight. You'll usually have your some kind of hole in the fairings so that you can allow airflow. Fairings is the word used for, that's just the fancy word for plastic parts, the plastic body parts. And you'll see in your reference pictures, you'll see a lot of motorcycles that have these little things sticking out the sides on the body. They're basically there. They stick out. They're basically there so that if you drop your bike, it'll hit this. Like this should be the first thing to touch the ground, and it'll take all the impact, so you don't scratch up your bike. However, it's one of those things where people think it's cool if you take it off because you live more dangerously. They take it off and then they end up dropping their bike, and the price of cool, right? They take it off because they think it's cool. These little things that stick out. And then they drop their bike, and then being cool costs them thousands of dollars in repairs. It's on both sides, yeah. Wow, my dogs are just not, they're not giving up. They are tired of being in this office. They want, my dogs have been like herding me, H-E-A-R-D. They're herding me into the bedroom to go to sleep. And then usually the gas tank will have some kind of, it's almost like a wedge right there. So like if you're looking at the gas tank from the top, it'll always have like that kind of curve to it, right? That's why you're always shaped like that. It's because you put your knees right here. So it's like ergonomic. That's what that is. And then you have a little hole up here for the gas. You just open it. Oh, I'm not really picky with hats. I'm wearing this hat because the light that I use is very bright during at my traditional art desk. And this allows me to crank up the brightness for the stream, but I get to cover my eyes. And then you have the seat here. Again, the seat is designed ergonomic. Think of it just like it's like a bicycle seat. And then get your little gear shifter over here. Then you'll have your foot peg where you sit your feet while you're riding. Then you have this little guard that comes up. Usually has little holes in it because it looks cooler that way. And this guard is just to keep your fucking foot from touching the bike, getting your shoelace stuck, ripping your leg off. And the fairings always have some kind of like crazy design. There's the exhaust pipes. Usually the exhaust pipes are visible from the front like that. And sometimes you'll have the radiator or like an oil cooler or something up front here. Can't you hear the birds singing? And then you usually have some kind of splash guard on top of your wheel, so that it doesn't, like when you're riding, it's not kicking up mud into your face. Little brake pad. Ugh, this is running out of ink. God damn it. Usually the chain will run behind you right here. Catch it. And usually the back will have these little pegs that stick out. The back wheel will have these little pegs that stick out the sides. And that's because like they're supposed to be there to like help catch the bike, similar to this one right here, right? But it actually is very functional because like there's like this stand that you could buy. It's like you ever see a deadlift bar? Like you just put it under like when people are deadlifting, you put the little forks underneath and you kick it up. Well, they have that for motorcycles. That's what these little pegs back here are for. So if you see all these pegs that stick horizontally out, that's what that's for. It's either to catch the bike, to prevent it from taking damage. Those, even though the pegs are little, they help, like they will prevent your bike from getting scratched up. Usually, depends on how hard you're falling. But they're actually functional because you can actually use them to lift the bike too. Oh man, that's what I'm saying though. This is like life experience. I remember all these little bits and bobs of motorcycles and cars because that was my job, you know, fixing this kind of stuff. That was my job before I started drawing. So naturally, I'm gonna have that burn in my memory. Just like there's something that you've probably done that I've never done, whatever that is. So that if you ever decide to shift that into, you know, your drawings, that'll, you know, find some use to find. Instead of trying to build your mental library, your visual library, you can go and dig around and see what you're actually good at and just start drawing that instead. Go the other way. If your work is already done. Okay. You don't gotta learn new stuff. You just gotta remember to use what you got already. Fuck everyone else. Man, I'm too sober. I've been sober for like days, bro. This shit sucks. So, here's another thing about motorcycle culture. A lot of people like to remove the back seat because it looks cooler. So normally again on a sports bike, on the back here, you'll have like this is a little compartment back here, right? So usually you'll have a second person seat here, but that's not cool. So they take off the seat and they just put, you ever see people who put like camper shells on their trucks? So it's not so once you do that, it's no longer like as comfortable as an SUV, but it's no longer as useful as a truck. Yeah, it's like that. It puts like a hard shell on top because it looks cooler. Now you can't have a second person. And then you got your lights back here, little turn signal lights. And then you got your license plate. Again, you need to have a splash guard over here. People who take the splash guard off in the back. What is it with people, fucking motorcyclists, wanting to take shit off their bikes all the time? No, man. I don't ride with two wheels. I ride with one. It's not a unicycle. Like, you played Resident Evil 2. You kind of want to ride a motorcycle. Hey, you should. But if you crash, you didn't do so on my recommendation. I've been looking at a vid of noobs crashing on YouTube. You know, I went through like a certified course to get my permit. And then once you've had your permit for X amount of time, you can go take a test, and then you'll get your your motorcycle's license. So I have my class M. Thankfully, I went into that course completely blind. Like, I didn't goof around on motorcycles with my friends who were teaching me bad habits and shit, right? Like, I went into the safety course, which is like taught by a professional. And you know, like when you drive a car, they teach you, hey, put your hands in certain areas, you know, do this, like all that stuff. They teach you to do that because it's the most it's the most efficient way, it's the safest way to drive your car. In the same way, if you want to learn how to ride a motorcycle, which is exponentially more dangerous than a car, it's not just easier to get into an accident, like the consequences of an accident are like infinity times worse, right? And yet people just, they dilly-dally, or not, they just don't take it seriously. Like go to a course. That's because people think they're too cool. Go to a safety course, like a certified safety course, and get taught like the proper habits of, like, you know, like looking the direction you want to turn, like things like that. That's why the only accidents I've ever had with my motorcycle was I was just going a little too fast on bald tires. That's what my problem was. To this day, I'll say I was going fast around that corner, but if I had some good tires, I think I would have still would have landed it. Yeah. Okay, so the tail lights, I get that. So for those who don't know, if you look at a factory motorcycle, right? So you're looking at it from the back here, right? So there's the tire, right? Wow, you got Nike symbols all over the tire. Usually you'll have like your tail light here, and then you'll have like this rack, like this really gross looking rail, and then usually you'll have like turn signals that stick out really far, and then you'll have your license plate that sticks out really, like that. Dude, you be playing this, so why does this song keep playing? And like, if you look at it from the side view, right, it usually sticks out hella far. Like, it's like this far out. Like, it's like that. It's so ugly. So in regards to modifications, I'm actually a fan of reducing it. Yeah, taking that out. Yeah, I'm a fan of taking that shit off. I always installed, because before Amazon, we had eBay Motors. I would just buy an aftermarket tail light right here, where the housing assembly had the turn signals built into it. I think that's what most people do, right? Why they don't just have it from the factory like that, I don't fucking understand. You know what I'm talking about? Like, you took the CHP safety course? Yeah, all those habits they teach you, they'll save your life, dude. You gotta. All right, thanks for coming through. Am I a bike man? Yeah, it's been a while since I've ridden a bike, but My very first bike was I had a Gixxer 750. I think it was a 2001 Gixxer 750, if I remember right. And then I got a Kawasaki 636. Is that what it was called? Shit, my brain is. Yeah, it was I think it was an '06. And during that time, I know the Ninjas, they had the base was, I believe, a 600, but then there was like a 636 on top of it. And I got that. Yeah. See, I wasn't gonna bring up Attack on Titan because, like, I know it's so close to the end. You know, I didn't want to say anything about it. No spoilers for any kind of shows here. By the way. But yeah, I can't fucking believe that when I found out that they're like, yo, here's the second half. Or no. Here's the final third of season 4. This third is gonna be separated into part A and part B. I'm like, dude, get the fuck. Just release it in 2024 if you're gonna be like that. Just be like, all right, look, here for Christmas, you guys can have the rest of it. It's just a movie. Here's 2 hours. You know what I mean? Like. Did you know that they're gonna split it into A and B like that, dude? Or did you watch it and be like, oh, I can't wait till next week? The trailer, and then the commercial comes on for the next episode. On the next episode of Attack on Titan, get the jingle bells ready, because we have a Christmas gift for you. Like, what? That's, you know what that is? That's the equivalent of like being a kid and then not understanding how TV seasons work. And then like some crazy shit happens, some season finale crazy shit happens, and you're just like, yo, I can't wait till the next episode. And then they loop back around to like an old episode, and you're just like, what happened? That's what Attack on Titan is doing to all of y'all. Do you remember, it was a long time ago, and I didn't want to spoil anything for you, and it was a while ago, and I was like, I'm not gonna spoil anything for you, but by the time we get to the end, pretty much everybody's horrible. Like, like everybody deserves to die. Like. All right, man, have a good one. Now, we're probably gonna call it pretty soon. I've been awake for, god damn it, probably, what are we at? I took a 1 hour nap, so technically there was a break in my being awake, but I've been awake since, is it Wednesday? It's about to be Wednesday. So it's Tuesday right now. I've been awake since Monday at 10 a.m. That's 24 plus 12. 24 plus 12 is 36. That's 1. But I did have a 1-hour nap. I've been awake for like 35 hours. No, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. Anyway, Exo, I don't know if that was helpful at all to kind of get a better, just like an idea of what you're looking at, functionality wise. Ultimately, you can hide all the mechanical parts where the engine sits, so everything here, you can hide it using the plastic fairings, the body parts on it. I should just draw cars for a living. Fuck everything else. You got you gotta have your 7 to 8 hours of sleep. I don't know how you do that sleeping so little. Let me clarify. I don't like sleep deprivation. I'm not a big supporter of it. If you can avoid it, I always recommend avoiding it. But you know, I say a good 70% of my day is dedicated towards nursing my wife. You know, taking care of her, and bills got to get paid. Things got to get drawn. I can't. There's nowhere else I can cut time. I don't even go to the gym anymore because I'm just like I could. So by the time like everything's said and done, I got a couple hours, and I'm like, am I gonna use it to go to the gym, or am I gonna use it to work? And I'm just like, if I go to the gym, not only am I not working, I'm gonna get even more tired, and I'm not gonna be able. You know what I'm talking about? So the whole sleep deprivation thing. The official stance of this channel is don't do it. But I mean, sometimes you do. You gotta do it. That's what I'm like. My prime sleep number is 6 hours of sleep. If I sleep any longer, I tend to get like really lethargic and groggy. And if I go shorter, then it's like not enough. I'm just tired all the time. Yeah, so as I get older, I do need more sleep. 6 hours, you know. 2017, Chris, 3 hours, 2 hours, I'm good. All right, well, as you get older, you feel like you need less sleep. I think it's because as I get older, I'm adding more responsibilities to my life. So everything is just taxing me more and more and more. And you know, so Well, I invite everybody to hop into the Discord. I dropped a link right there. We're not gonna raid anybody. I'm really, really fucking tired. So we may have a new outro song because this song fire. Anyway, thank you all for hanging out. No, let's go raid somebody. Let's go raid somebody.
I'll memorize every word you write. I wanted to make you feel the way I do. But you bite your tongue, you hesitate. The things you care about, you're scared to say. And so I help you do the things you do. But nothing lasts forever.
All right, we have someone doing watercoloring. Oh wait, never mind. No, Jim is on. Let's go raid Jim. Jim's my boy. Very hardworking artist. I believe he went full time about a year ago. And I think he's still full time, so good for him. God damn it. Well, we're gonna let the raid just kind of do its thing. So we'll be done in about 2 minutes. Yeah, Jim's my boy. And he's growing out his hair. Yeah. This is fun. We'll probably draw cars for a while. I know we got a little distracted drawing the motorcycle today because when Exo brought up the topic of motorcycles, I was just like, oh yeah, I like bikes, let's do that. But no, we'll probably be doing vehicles for a while. I can use a refresher course on that anyway. All right, the raid is going to launch in 15 seconds. There's a link to the Discord for whoever is not there. That's where you could find us most active. Thank you guys for hanging out. I will see you tomorrow.
What was Chris up to? Maybe I saw a little bit of like car sketching. Was it a sketchbook night? Motorcycles and cars, cool. I gotta draw more motorcycles. That's something I am so bad at. But they are like super hard, so